Welcome to my channel, Sonia Unapologetic. My name is Sonia and this is my very first video. I'd like to thank you guys for joining me and embarking on this journey with me. This channel is going to be about self-care, mental health, being the author of your life and just living a free life. I'm going to have some panel discussions with some interesting guests, and also there's going to be some travel in there as well. So before we go any further, I'd like to ask you guys to like and subscribe this video. And this first topic is, are you qualified to be depressed? And to explain what that means, I know a lot of my friends during this pandemic, including myself, have dealt with some depression and anxiety. Just as life becomes more stressful and more changes occurs, it can just, get worse. So what I mean by, are you qualified to be depressed? Have any of you ever dealt with someone asking you, what do you have to be depressed about? Or if you have the nice house, you have the kids, you have the cars, you have a good job, people feel like you don't have the right to be depressed. They look at you like, how dare you have the audacity to be depressed when you have all these good things happen in your life? And that can be just very discouraging, and it can cause people to not want to even talk about the problems that they're having. So I really felt like it was put on my heart to talk about this, because I've dealt with this even with some counselors that I've visited, to where they're the professional, they're the ones with the license, but they're making me feel like I don't have the right to be depressed. I even went to one counselor to where initially the energy just felt off. I just initially didn't feel like she was a right fit for me, but I just kind of went through it. We got through the first session, but at the end of the session, she said something, in a very, mean tone. She just said, well, you're a pretty girl, you're gonna be okay. So it just seemed like she was annoyed by the fact that, I was coming to her, talking about depression. So it's just very important for us, as we're getting through these times and we're trying to deal with those mental health issues, that we get counsel from the right people. Just trust our instincts, and if it doesn't feel right, it's just like dating. If you're gonna go to a therapist, just keep trying a new therapist. That first appointment is like a first date. If it doesn't feel right and it's not a right fit, don't feel afraid to go to someone else. Don't feel like just because they have a degree, they're still human beings. So they can be petty, they can have some jealousy, or they can just feel a certain way about you, and you definitely wouldn't want to give that person or talk to that person about all of your deepest, darkest secrets, or just telling them all this stuff and they don't have your best interests at heart. So that's just something that I really wanted to talk about, because I don't know if some other people have dealt with that and maybe felt like blew it off, or maybe not trust their instincts. So just going forward, that's something more that I want to talk about, just especially with Black women, just the whole strong Black woman trope, and just feeling like we can never be depressed, or we can never feel tired, or that we don't have the right to feel tired. So that's something that I'd like to talk about in a future panel discussion. So in the comments, let me know if you guys would be interested in hearing that in a panel discussion, or talking about this topic further. And then also in the comments, I want to hear about if any of you guys have dealt with people gaslighting you or making you feel guilty for feeling depressed or anxious. So just tell me about those stories in the comments. I'd really like to hear about it. But that's all I have to talk about right now. I want to thank you guys again for being here for my first video. Again, like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.